Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So for those of y'all who are just tuning in, my name is Jenny Baker and I am a Forex and investing coach inside of several different companies. So if you have not already done so, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe and all the other good jazz. Of course, we have to start with a disclaimer that says something on the lines of everything we do is recorded. Please don't consider any of this stuff legal, financial, or investing advice. And obviously, I practice high risk, high reward trading. You can follow similar steps for safer, lower risk, lower reward trades. So, without further ado, 2 weeks ago, we looked at, I think that is 7 trades. And in those 7 trades, what we did was we ended up winning 5. One of them, fair and square, was a loss. It made a higher high before it kind of went in the right direction anyhow. And then the last but not least, just didn't have an entry yet. So, we're going to go over those 7 trades just really quickly, not waste your time or mine. And there's about 6 new pairs, maybe 5, depending on how you want to look at it, setting up. There's not as much movement. There's, the volatility's been a little bit different in the marketplace. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over the charts and see what we're seeing. As you guys know, this is a demo account that I use mostly for training, teaching, and coaching purposes. So on this, we've got kind of some of the same trend lines we drew a couple of weeks ago. Luckily, because of our snazzy tools, it keeps it all there. You'll notice that all I have on my chart are fractals, the simplicity system, Swiss Army knife, and of course the ATM, which is what I use to manage my trades. So let's see, we said 7 trades, right? We're going to start from the left and just simply go down. Australian US dollar was one of them, and remember the time on that video, so you can go back in the YouTube channel and find it. This was September 7th, and this was the nighttime call, so that's actually, September 8th in terms of, UTC time, right? So let's go find that over here, wherever we can. So it's September 8th, if I can find it, hopefully. And we're looking at about the, anywhere from 0 o'clock to 2 o'clock candles, where I'm pretty sure we were. So this is the area that we looked for this trade. We know the rules are pretty simple. We're waiting for the simplicity signal. We're waiting for the next break of the continuation, right? Which in this case, what I'm using is either a break of the trend line or a break of a fractal, or just looking at general structure across the board. So from where we saw that, from the break of the previous fractal, right, we did not make a higher high, so we did not come up here to close this trade. And of course, this one moved for 150-ish pips in total, 100 and, give or take that middle number right there that says 1515. That's your pip count. That's definitely not a bad way to be. Really simple trade to take, obviously, considering that we looked at this for 20 minutes or less, right? So that was 150 pips on this pair. I'm going to go ahead and double click my watch list to take that off now. I'm going to go to Euro USD, same kind of concept. I'm not going to zoom in because you guys have your own charts. Y'all can go take a look at these. I'm doing this mostly for record keeping purposes and for the naysayers. So same kind of concept in and around this candle. We never made a higher high. On this trade right here, it was Euro USD sell. 137 pips is what I wrote down. Kind of went a little bit more. Remember, we're considering this trade closed and safe. If we hit at least 1 ADR, you can take the smallest number, that's fine. But if we hit 1 ADR, you should be making some actionable step on your trade. So again, I'm going to take that one off of our watch list, go to GBP USD. This one was the one that we lost, in all fairness. So same thing, we're going to go to the right time on the time. You can look at the bottom of the screen to find where I'm looking. So here's where we are. We technically moved about 50-60 pips in our right direction, but we would not have taken that trade to the break of the fractal. So with that said, we did not hit at least 1, even of the smallest number of the ADR. So that means we have to count this as a loss. Remember, my stop loss is going to be a little bit above structure, so we have to count this as 130 some odd-ish pip loss from that right candle. So let's go over here. I counted that as 130 pip loss. Definitely not bad. It's part of trading. You can't always control it. Obviously, your trade idea was still a profitable one. You were just early. The market did what it did, and it was going to go against you. So no hard feelings, but we're going to go ahead and move on from that one. That was the one we lost. NZD USD was the next one we were looking at. Beautiful trend line we had going. Same kind of concept. We did consolidate for a little while, which is one of the biggest reasons why with a system like this, I say, hey, take your trade and then don't look at it for weeks. So total 71, say 80 pip stop loss. In general, it was 111 pips out of it. I calculated 100 pips in terms of my take profit, so definitely not a bad trade. This still has a little bit more room, not enough to chase it, so we're counting that as done and closed. As you can see again, that hit at least 1 ADR. That is a winning trade, not bad at all. Let's see. Australian JPY. If I could talk, it's amazing how much I talk and can't even get it straight. Let's see, we're going to the right candle approximately, right? And we were looking for the sell. On this one, Simplicity hadn't painted yet, but we saw the trend. We knew the market kind of consensus. We knew double top was there. We had enough reason to follow. Again, we're looking for the break of this fractal. In total, 250-ish pips. I have down 239 from the actual break of the fractal to how far prices moved. Remember, once you hit 180R, you're closing out of some of your position, you're applying a trailing stop, you're moving your take profit, you're moving your stop loss into profit, and in general, you're going on with your life. In my case, I use a trade manager, so mine is kind of managed in a format pretty close to this, right? That is going to kind of scale me out. In this one, I would get 130 pips, give or take, and I did that all hands-free. So not a bad way to be at all. That was, again, another winning trade. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off my watch list also. And then I'm come back to Euro NZD. One of the second to last one that we took last week, or 2 weeks ago more accurately. Again, this was November 8th, about the 2 o'clock candle. We were a little early from the Simplicity signal, but again, we knew market consensus and we were following technical analysis. This would move a total of 281-ish pips from where we entered. Not bad at all. Great trade, hit multiple ADR, and that's a win, right? It never came back and hit your stop loss. So totally great trade, great way to be. Ta-da, that's over. I left Euro NZD up because, well, this was the one that had no entry last week. So if you notice, if we go on this one, I'll draw a line just so we can kind of be more accurate since we're looking at this one in real time anyhow. This was approximately the candle that we did that video on. So from here, we were looking for a break of these fractals, which really didn't happen all the way over here. Some of y'all have the patience to kind of hold that to say, hey, in the last 24 hours, this got activated. Most of you, 2 weeks have gone by, y'all don't still have this activated. So for me, we're counting that as no entry. If you did take it, you are in profit because you would not have taken it till over here. But for the people who did not take it, I'm looking for this to continue up. We still have plenty of room. Let me go ahead and come right here where price is at to come up and retest where price broke out. Definitely enough ADR, right? So I'm looking to get about 200 pips out of this, if not more. Worst case scenario, even if we only come up and around this zone, okay, that's still, we're going to hit our kind of our 1 ADR anywhere in this zone. And that's enough for me to say it's worth the amount of risk. Now granted, this is a big risk, so if you're not comfortable with that, you can of course put your stop loss here. You might get wicked out, you have to accept that. You have to decide if you're going to be the tighter trader or the looser trader and kind of how you want to manage your risk management. But this is the one that I have on my list for this week. Let me go ahead and write that down. Now that I have that there, we're looking for a buy on Euro NZD this week. If you're waiting from here, you can wait till the break. If you're already in it because we broke over here, you're just barely in profit. So anywhere in this window to me is still a good zone. We could get a pullback, and that's part of trading. So I prefer peace even more so than profit, meaning I'm willing to take the entry that I'm confident of and let it play out without kind of honing in and looking for the better entry and looking for the better entry. That's exhausting. Most people stress themselves out. They overthink it, they overcomplicate it, and then they over action it and then end up losing. So for me, I'm okay taking a trade anywhere in this zone. I know where it's going. I've got enough confidence and enough room in my account to handle it, so that's what I'm going to do there. So in terms of the 7 from last week or 2 weeks ago, that was a total of 805 pips. If you had taken that on a standard lot size, you're looking at $8,000. That's $8,000 that took you 20 minutes, provided you have the right tools and the right training. 20 minutes, that's it. Obviously, if your account size is bigger or you have better leverage or more money in your account, you can take that at 5 standards. You can take that at 10 standards. That's $80,000 in 20 minutes of time. Yes, the same thing that can make you maybe 80 bucks in 20 minutes is the same skill set that can make you 8,000 or 80,000 or 800,000, right? This is all the same skill set. It just comes down to rules and math, and that's it. So that's what we were able to accomplish 2 weeks ago. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look at the trades that are setting up now. I'll first off say, obviously, all of the news stations are saying, oh my goodness, we're in a bearish market in terms of the indices, in terms of the cryptos. We know that it's all going wild. So number one, play it a little safer. We know that we're in this quarter where a lot of the big decisions politically are decided. So maybe don't go all in, don't go heavy on your 20 20% risk or something. Scale it down a little bit, do your 1 to 5% risk, and live to trade another trade. Live to trade another day, right? So for starters, we know we're looking for the buy on Euro NZD. That is one of them. Secondly, I am looking for Australian NZD. This is another one. So again, let's look at what candle we're actively on. The candle we're actively on right now is technically the 1 o'clock candle on 9/22. Although Florida time is the 21st of September. So this is where we're looking. We see a beautiful simplicity buy signal here. We see a beautiful kind of trend down. We broke and retested, also forming a potential head and shoulders, right? And we have officially broken that neckline on that head and shoulders. So we've got all the reason and the kind of technical analysis reasons to say, hey, this is a valid buy. We have again failed to make a lower low, and we're at a really good price point. Our risk is not too steep. You can put your stop loss below here. I like to give it room. You can put it here or here, totally up to you. But either way, this is not a fast moving or expensive pair to trade. I'm looking for a buy here. You can wait for the break of this fractal, right? Or you can take it now, totally up to you. For me, I definitely see us getting our at least 1 to 2 ADR. I'm very happy with 100 pip profit on this. Anywhere in that range, I'm good. So that's the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to our watch list by hitting W. Now I'm looking at Chf Jpy. Same kind of concept, 1 hour time frame, Chf Jpy. No, I'm talking fast. I'm on a roll today. Beautiful trend line down, right? We have kind of broken up. We failed to make a higher high, and now we're retesting below. So I see the potential breakout here, right? I see exactly what I'm looking for, and I looked around at a couple of higher time frames. Yes, we made a lower low. So for this, I'm not looking for a forever trade. I want to know if this has enough room, if it comes back up and retests where price broke out before, to at least hit 1 ADR. Because at 1 ADR, remember, I am protecting this trade. I am doing something with this trade. So with that in mind, I'm really happy with saying, hey, this is enough of a retracement trade that I can handle that, even if it only comes up to kind of in this zone. And if I show you the line chart, you'll see exactly what I mean. From where price is currently at, up to this zone, well, that hits my 1 ADR. Although I think we have a little bit more room than that to go. I know I at least have enough room in my trade to trade this. So that's the next one I'm looking for. I'm gonna hit a W on that. Euro JPY, if I'm not mistaken, also kind of similar situation. I popped around some time zones to kind of see what I was seeing. So go back to the 1 hour. We've got a lot of confluence in this area. So we are definitely early to this trade, right? We've rejected off of this zone a couple of times, and it's a very tight stop loss. So do we have our simplicity signal yet? No. Should you take it yet? No. I'm not big on timing bottoms personally. However, I do see the divergence that are happening on multiple time frames. For those of y'all who know what that is, I do see the double bottoms. I do see over here. For me, my stop loss on this, and it's on record and it is recorded, would be a little bigger, meaning I would want it to give it some room to kind of wick down and spring everybody out before we do get the buy up. But again, I'm looking for like 150 pips or so on this. Really, really good way to be from where price is currently at. Okay, very, very easy trade to have with multiple time frame confluence. So is this ready per se? No, it's not. It's definitely not. Let's draw a trend line. But for the sake of peaceful trading, right? Oh, I hate that trend line. I hate that trend line. Hold on, let's try this again. Let's try to fix it. First, I'm going to put one here. For the sake of peaceful trading, I'm a lot more of the mindset of I'm going to find what I'm looking for. When it sets up, I'll either put a pending order, right? Or I will have an active order, and I'm going to live with the good and the bad that comes with it. I'm much more of that mindset than I am I'm going to go check this trade 100 times. I'm going to see when it sets up. I'm going to be at my computer. I'm going to be on my MT4 on my phone. No. I just want to be able to know what I'm looking for. I scalp sometimes in the morning, right, with our big group of people, and look at a couple of trades. I get alerts on that stuff. But other than that, I don't care what happens with the rest of the market. So totally up to you on how you want to trade it. You can wait to the break of this fractal. As for me and mine, I would be looking for an earlier entry. I'd be looking for the entry that's kind of in confluence with a 15-minute time frame, for example, potentially using the golden strategy, or you could even use simplicity. But that's how I would be trading this personally. So either way, that's my next one. So I'm going to hit W and make sure that's added as well. Or did I just unadd it? There we go. It's added. Euro NZD we already went over. And then we've got GN. GN is interesting because it has done this huge kind of flag, right? This ascending kind of channel. We've pulled down, failed to make a lower low. I know this is zoomed in real ugly, but it's done with intention. I'll go to a higher time frame. We have some room to test this out. This is, that liquidity void, depending on which guru you want to talk to. There's a lot of room in here, right, for this to kind of come give us the pips we need to go on with our day. So this is a bigger time frame, granted, but from where price is currently at, up to where price broke out before, you've got about 2 ADR. You've got a really, really nice way to be in terms of how many pips to get. In general, I'd be going for more about 3 ADR on this pair personally. But again, anywhere in and around 1, I'm protecting, I'm scaling out, I'm making an active decision to, keep the bag, right? To protect my investment, to sound a little bit more informative. Obviously, you guys can wait to take an entry until we break this fractal. We get the confluence. That is going to be late. This is a big moving pair. Your stop loss is going to be enormous. Granted, this pair isn't worth as much as some other pairs, but either way, plan on having hundreds of pips as a stop loss or don't plan on taking it. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to hit W, make sure that's on my watch list so we can come back to this video in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, last but not least, I'm already in this pair. This pair has been playing around for what seems like forever. Beautiful move up. Okay, we have officially broken that trend and kind of retested that area. Now I'm looking for the continuation down. Same kind of concept. We have a huge amount of room that has not been retested. So even if we only come to where price broke out before, we still got at least 2 times your ADR. And if we come all the way down, we've got about 4 times our ADR. So for me, this is a great trade. Notice how I'm not looking at these every week. I'm not even looking at these once a week because most people are getting still so tripped up. You miss out on so many pips because you are taking so many actions versus I'm going to check once or twice. If the trade sets out great, if I'm already in it, I'm going to let it play out. I'm not going to change my mind or change my direction. I'm going to let this play out, right? So really, really simple. Those are the 6 trades I'm looking at for the next 2 weeks or so. Curious to see how they play out. If you guys are finding this content valuable, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps all the YouTube algorithms and all their stuff that they do behind the scenes. If you have specific questions or contacts you want to go over, please put that in the chat or message me on Telegram, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Now that we finally got some other things all worked out, we're in the position where we can actually have a content list going of what's our next video going to be, what's the next topic, what's the next indicator, what rules and stuff do I feel like are going to help people the most, because this industry, unlike any other industry, unlike MLMs, unlike, go start a franchise where you need, $500,000 or a whole $1 million, unlike a college degree even, God forbid I say that, this is something that no one can take it from you. As long as you're willing to learn the skill set and you do the time, once you learn the skill set, the same skill set that paid you 80 cents can pay you $8 and can pay you $800 and can pay you $80,000. This is a skill set that will be good to use during, oh my gosh, the economy is booming, everyone's happy. And the same skill set can also make you a millionaire when the economy is tanking. So definitely something to stay the course and hopefully stick with and get good at for long enough to see the results. So without further ado, I'm trying to keep these videos really, really short because we already have tons of hours of content and hours of talking. We want to get the message across and the trades across in the shortest way possible as we grow and as we go. So hope you guys have an amazing day trading, and take care and God bless.